Hey everybody, Goldon here with another Vox Immortalis Commentary guide. This video is for the Silence is Golden achievement, which is part of the Atramedes encounter in Blackwing Descent. And as always, this is the 10-man version. So this achievement requires that you defeat Atramedes without allowing any raid member to reach 50 sound level or higher throughout the fight. And if you're used to doing this fight on Heroic, especially, this achievement will seem very easy for the most part. The reason for this is primarily because you have such high DPS and so many gongs that you can pretty much go crazy with your usage of the gong reset. So our general strategy ended up being to use 2 gongs per phase. Basically, we use 1 gong for Searing Flame, and then 1 gong either right as we're going into the ground phase or right at the end of it. And then we'll also use 1 gong just as soon as the target is selected for tracking during the air phase, and then a second gong to get that tracked target safe during the air phase. So basically there's 10 total. We get 2 full phase durations, ground, air, and then we get 2 more gongs for in the final ground phase to finish them off. And it's plenty of time. You don't have to worry about your sound at all. And of course, the only exception is if you screw up the fight in some way. So you can see here that as soon as I see that tracking message, I'm hitting the gong. And the reason I'm doing it is just because I'm Feral Druid, so I have the movement speed increase here. And then our enhancement shaman will actually take it off of me. And this gives us plenty of time, and we don't have to worry about it. Now, that's worth noting that there are a few weird mechanics with this fight, and you can get sound even though you feel like you're outside of some of the effects. But because you are allowed so many gongs per phase for this achievement, unless your DPS is extremely low, then you shouldn't have to worry about it too much. One thing you might notice is that I modified the DBM slightly. So the sound monitor on the bottom right there will show people from 0 sound and upwards, whereas it defaults to like 15 or higher, or 30 higher, or something like that. So if you want something like that, you can just modify the number in the atramedes.lua file pretty easily. You can also use something like weak auras. If you look to the right of my character, there's a red 7. Now it's well, it would have been a 0, but that also shows personal sound. There it's 7 right there for modulation. So I highly recommend you kind of get something that helps you monitor everyone's sound for this achievement, and that'll make it a lot easier, especially for the person in charge of doing the gongs during the ground phase. Just in case someone gets, kind of 35, maybe 40 sound, you might want to hit one right then so they don't get pushed over by something. And otherwise, it's very simple. You can see here we're just doing exactly what I mentioned. So once tracking hits, I'll hit another gong here. And interestingly enough, it's on me, but I hit one anyway, just because we want to reset our sound, and that stuns him for a moment. Gives me time to run again. And then our enhancement shaman will grab it off of me in a moment here. And he actually did it a little earlier, but that's fine. And so now he's just going to run until the phase ends. And this, you've all seen this stuff before. It's just like killing him normally. So not a very difficult achievement. Just focus on doing most of your DPS during the ground phase. Don't worry about it during the air phase. Just make sure people run around and avoid getting extra sound if they can. And again, sort of like other videos, if you haven't seen our normal strategy guide, you may wonder why we're stacking up and all that. So you might want to check those out. Or actually, that might be heroic only. I think our normal version, we didn't do this method. I'm not sure. But anyway, you can see he's landed. We have plenty of time and gongs left. We actually only used 7, so we have an extra one here. So we could probably go through another air phase as well pretty easily. But yeah, so that's the Silence is Golden achievement for Atramedes. Pretty simple. And good luck. Thanks for watching.